Okay, so ready to like dive into another one?
Always ready for a deep dive.
Let's talk about Atonement. It's Ian McEwan.
Oh, yeah.
This book, wow. Like just even skimming it,
It's a heavy one.
it's heavy. It's like, how can one like little lie
Yeah.
become like this huge,
It just
ripples out and just destroys everything?
And it's interesting because he sets this all up on like one hot summer day
Yeah.
in 1935 England.
Yeah. And it's like the setting, it's almost like another character.
Absolutely.
This house, the Tallis house.
Right.
It's like this, I don't know, I just imagine this like pressure cooker
Oh, yeah.
with the heat and everything.
Yeah, like the heat is exacerbating all the emotions.
Yeah, and then you've got these characters. You've got Briony.
Right.
She's 13.
13, yeah.
Wants to be a writer.
And fascinated by words and how they can create.
Yes. And then you've got her sister, Cecilia.
Right.
Who's kind of like,
On the cusp of adulthood.
yeah, figuring it all out.
Yeah.
And then Robbie.
The housekeeper's son.
Yeah, he's like super smart, went to Cambridge.
To Cambridge, yeah.
But still, he's like lower class. So
Still has those social barriers.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So how does this all like play out?
So McEwan does this really interesting thing where he uses shifting perspectives. So we see the same event through the different characters' eyes. So like right away we get that unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
And a great example is when Cecilia is at the fountain.
Oh, yeah, where she like,
Dives in to get the vase.
yeah, I was like, what is she doing?
Right, so she's probably feeling impulsive.
Yeah.
Maybe even like a little rebellious. But Robbie's seeing this as like
Oh, yeah, he's like,
alluring defiance.
he's totally into it.
Totally into it. But Briony doesn't quite understand those adult emotions.
Right. And she's also got that thing with the note
Yes.
where he accidentally gives her the note.
Okay. Yeah, that he meant for Cecilia.
And
That's like,
pretty explicit.
yeah. And she's 13, so it's like,
That's a whole other.
what is this? Right, and we're in 1935. So like a note like that, that's a scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the class differences.
Yeah.
So it just adds to her already kind of messed up view of Robbie.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that just like kicks off the lie.
Yeah.
That's just going to spiral out of control.
And then there's the dinner party.
Oh, the dinner party.
Yeah.
So much tension.
Yeah. It's just like
You can just feel it.
suffocating.
Yeah. And then the twins run away.
Yes. And she sees
And she sees.
something in the dark.
Right. And it's that whole dramatic irony. Like,
Yeah.
we know he's innocent,
Yeah.
but she doesn't. And it makes you wonder, how often are we seeing things? Our own lens, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just part one.
Yeah.
And it ends with him getting arrested. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Like, what is going to happen? It's like he didn't do anything.
Right. It just makes you think about how, like, one little thing can just
Blow up.
blow up. Yeah.
So what are you thinking so far?
I'm really, like, hooked on this whole idea of perception, like how everyone sees things so differently and how that can lead to these huge misunderstandings.
Yeah. And what about you? What's like grabbing you so far?
For me, it's that feeling of dread. Like, you know something terrible is going to happen, but you don't know what. And that tension just keeps building. I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting to see how it all unfolds.
Part one. Oh my gosh. Like, where do we even go from there?
Right? It's like whiplash.
Yeah, we go from like this house to like war.
To France during the war. World War II.
5 years have passed.
30 years, yeah.
And now we're with Robbie.
We are.
He's like literally in a war.
And McEwan doesn't hold back. Like,
Yeah.
all the details, it's brutal.
Yeah, you really feel like what it's like to be there. Like the exhaustion, the fear. Like every moment could be your last.
Yeah.
But then he's got these memories of Cecilia.
Right. It's like in the middle of all this chaos.
Yeah, like why is he thinking about like the water drop on her arm at the fountain? Or like the daisy on her bra?
I think it's those little details. They keep him human.
Yeah, like those are the things he's fighting for.
Love, beauty, like that hope for a future.
But can that be enough? Like, can those memories actually like make up for everything?
It's a good question.
And he feels so guilty too.
Yeah. About the note.
Even though she's supposed to read it.
Right. He still feels like he did something wrong.
Like society's rules are just like ingrained in him.
Yeah. It's like he's internalized that guilt.
Robbie's like more than just a victim though.
Definitely.
He's complicated.
Yeah, he's got all these desires and regrets.
Yeah.
And then there's that scene in the cottage
Oh yeah.
with the other soldiers, like this brief moment of peace.
Yeah, but it's like, you know something bad's gonna happen.
Right. It's so tense, like that feeling of impending doom.
Yeah.
And it just shows you, even when you try to hold on to hope.
The war can just
Yeah.
snatch it away.
Yeah. And then it ends with him marching towards Dunkirk.
With this defeated army.
Like, will he even survive? I don't know. It's like, will he ever get to like actually atone?
And like, not just for something he didn't do, but for like everything. His choices, his desires. It just makes you think about, what does it really mean to atone?
It's a really complex question.
What about you? What are you like thinking about now with Robbie?
It's interesting. For me, it's like this whole idea of how war changes people, like how it forces you to confront like your own morality, and how even in the darkest of times, there's still that flicker of hope, that desire for something better.
So Robbie's like, will he make it out? Will he
Yeah.
be okay? And then part 3, it's like back to Briony.
Yeah, she's all grown up now.
Yeah, she's not a kid anymore.
It's wartime London now,
Yeah, and she's a nurse.
a trainee nurse.
It's interesting though, right? Like, we saw the war through Robbie's eyes.
Yeah, like the brutality of it.
Yeah, and now Briony, she's like in a different kind of war.
Yeah, an internal one.
Yeah, she's got to deal with what she did.
All that guilt.
And it's like she's trying to fix it somehow, right?
Yeah, through nurse.
Yeah, like the way she scrubs and cleans and like everything has to be perfect.
It's that need for control.
Oh yeah, like we saw that when she was a kid.
With her words, with her plays.
Yeah, she always wanted to like control the story.
And now she's trying to control like the hospital.
But then she writes this story
Yeah, I know.
based on that summer.
And it gets rejected.
Yeah, and the publisher's like, you need a backbone. You need substance.
Oh,
It's like
whoa.
like life imitating art. Or,
Yeah, it's like McEwan's telling her you need to face the truth.
Yeah, stop hiding behind the words.
And it's like she finally gets it.
Yeah, that she can't just rewrite the story.
So she goes to see Cecilia and Robbie.
After all these years.
There's like so much tension.
Yeah, so much left unsaid.
And she confesses
Tells him the truth.
that it was Paul Marshall she saw.
Not Robbie.
You think Cecilia's going to forgive her?
Not so fast.
Yeah, she's like, you need to fix this.
Yeah, make a statement. Retract your testimony.
Like, words aren't enough.
Yeah, you got to do something.
And Robbie's angry. Of course.
But he's like, you got to tell everything.
Every little detail.
Like, he wants her to really understand what she did.
How much it hurt.
And then it's like, wait, Lola's married to Paul Marshall.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
how does that even happen?
It's like the bad guy wins.
Yeah, and you're just left feeling like, is there any justice?
It's unsettling.
And Briony, it's like she's trying so hard to atone.
To make things right.
But you wonder, can she ever really do it?
Yeah. Is it even possible?
And then there's that twist at the end.
With older Briony.
Yeah, she's got dementia now.
And she's like, that happy ending in my book.
Yeah, the one where Cecilia and Robbie get back together.
She's like, I made that up.
I was like, whoa.
It's like this whole meta thing about memory and storytelling.
Yeah, can we ever really know what's true?
And what does it even mean to atone when you can't change the past?
So many questions.
And that's what McEwan does so well.
Yeah, he makes you think.
Atonement.
Oh.
Definitely a book that'll stick with you. Yeah.
Yeah, makes you wonder about your own choices, your own lies.
And how they affect others.
Well, I think we've like atoned for our lack of deep dives.
Yeah, we've definitely gone deep on this one.
If you haven't read this book, what are you doing?
I'll read it.
Seriously, it's worth it.
And then come back and we'll talk about it.
Until next time, happy reading, everyone.